Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, it's Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander with another episode of the Treadmill Wealth Coach. And our topic today is let's build it. But you know what we do at Winners All Around, guys? We got to make sure we're on all platforms simultaneously. So give me a second to make sure everything is in place. Make sure that IG is going live. Looks like that's in place. All of them. And then we're going to jump out to, looks like we're live. We're going to jump out to YouTube. Make sure YouTube is in place. Looks like YouTube is in place. Nike said do it. All right, Nike. But we're going to snatch this link. Make sure YouTube is in place. Looks like we can hear the sound. So that's going pretty good. But then I'm going to jump over here to Facebook. Make sure Facebook is up and running and live in the place. Oops. All right, all right. I hit the wrong button. Come on now. That Facebook is in place. Okay, YouTube was good. Let me check the other. Pretty sure it's going good, but we're just gonna make sure that the other Facebook is rocking and rolling the way it's supposed to be. Guys, if you're a business owner, you're an artist, you want to get with us, we'll do this for you. And if I'm going to talk about that today also. If you're a business owner and an artist and you're watching us on social media and you're watching the tube and you're doing all these things, you need to contact us because we're trying to help you. We even have where you can get just jump on, doesn't cost anything. Guys, just come on, do a little interview, do a little thing. Guys, you got to get out there and promote and do your thing. And I think people just miss it. You just got to do it, right? You got to build it, right? That's what we're talking about. So that's up and running. That's looking good. The sound is going well there. What am I trying to go to? I'm trying to go to, I wanted to check something. Oh, yeah. The other tube. Okay, I don't need to check that. Let me see. Okay. Check one, check two, check three. Looks like we're live. Let's build it. Let's do it. All right. Good stuff. Now I'm probably going, oh, I can do it on the other phone. I remember. But I do want the actual link. So let me go on to here. I'm going to send it to myself. On this phone, because that's where I'm going to go to. I'm going to jump out there to Threads and jump out there to there it is. We're going to jump to Threads and we're going to jump to WhatsApp. And then we'll knock it out on TikTok and we will be good to go. And I remembered one thing I do need to do. Let's see. Go to Threads. Okay. And I need to go back onto the other Facebook and share from there to the other accounts. Because I need to get all the other groups. So let me make sure it's on all the groups as well. Let's see. Let's build it. Let's build it. Build it. Okay, so here we're going to go to the groups. Let's build it. Let's build it. Let's build it. I'm going to go here. Paste. Let's build it, y'all. Let's build it. And if you're in the Maryland, D.C. area, guys, on Saturday, we have the walk for health, but it's actually if ever anybody had a brain injury or something like that. So I'm going to be out there. I had a brain injury. I got to squeeze it in my kids, but I had a brain injury. I'm still recovering, doing some stuff, but I have this little thing that actually took me off of a bunch of different prescriptions, y'all. This little snap pack in my liquid drink. You can even put it in alcohol. Incredible thing. And then, I'm talking about that. And then I have this over here. This that helped me with the pain. I got this right here, guys. That thing, probably saved my life last year. When my brain was bleeding and it was on Eliquis. There's a whole bunch of stuff going stuff. So wait a minute, let me find so I'm just saying, guys, um, there it is. Don't slip. Do not slip. Okay. Pay attention. And that's what I really wanted to talk about today is people paying attention, you know. But I don't want to get into all that quite yet until I get everything up and running and posted to all the places. I got one more group to go on here. There it goes. Social Surge Productions. I don't think they should be in the chat. People got so much. People online are funny, man. Everyone got this. Everybody thinks their opinion is always important. That's funny. Um, Not that your opinion is not important, but just the way we do it these days. It's a little interesting. Now I'm going to sign off of here 1 second. Don't lose me. No, I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, so here we go, guys. Let's go out there and get this thing rocking and rolling into place. We jump on the ticker-tocker, and then we will be good to go. Okay, guys, so you know that I'm really doing my treadmill thing, right? Boom, boom, boom. There's a treadmill. Treadmill wealth coach in the house. One more place to go. So let me bring up, did I put it here? No, I did it already. Did this already. Okay, good. So let's jump on to the TikToker. Did y'all see the video? No, I didn't see that video, but okay. They said if you got this and this, if you're a lady, that's how you get views. Isn't it a trip? But it's true. It's true. So let's build it is our topic. Okay, TikTok, let's go live. Hey, y'all, what's going on? It is TikTok in the house. What's up, TikTok? Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander here, the treadmill wealth coach in the place. Let's get this thing kicked off and start this treadmill popping a little bit. Whoop, get a little stretches in. All right. Okay, a little stretches in. All right. Let's speed it up, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. And we are live. What's up, y'all? Hey, Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander here, your treadmill wealth coach. And those who follow me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And don't forget to like, share, and repost this and share it. Oh, did I say that already? And for those who don't follow me or don't know, my name is Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander out of the Washington, D.C. area, guys. I've been blessed to be in the entertainment industry, have some massive success over there. In the MLM industry, makes multiple seven figures over there. Started businesses and opportunity things over there, and had a lot of fun and success there. But you know what, guys? And don't get me wrong, I have failed more than I have won, right? But I'm gonna tell you something, guys. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. You just gotta build it. You just gotta build it. And that's what I'm going to talk about here today. Remember, if you are a business owner or you are an artist of any type, you need to go to winnersallaround.com. Go on there and register, guys. Check it out. See what's going on. We want to expose you to the world. We want to put you on all these platforms as well, simultaneously. Your platforms, our partners and affiliate platforms. That's what we do. Then we wrap it all up in a nice bow, stick you on YouTube, and people go there and they're up there 24/7, 365 days a year. Absolutely. So make sure also that you go to the YouTube and subscribe there on there, guys, because we're working to get the numbers up there. We're not so concerned. What's going on, Wesley? What's going on, Reese? What's going on, Micho? So concerned about that as most people would be. I get calls every day from digital marketers who want to build those numbers. I don't mind building numbers. I don't mind building views. But what's more important to me is that you succeed, is you make money in your passion. And guess what, guys? The numbers don't reflect because we go through a certain software, a certain platform, and we go out, we get hundreds and thousands of views, but it won't reflect that because we're controlling our views and we're controlling our people. And so with that being said, guys, don't forget to go to winnersallaround.com and to the tube, Winners All Around. Again, today is Thursday, which means tonight we have one of our shows, Freestyle Friday, but Thursday at midnight with the Real Tress, THA Real Tress. Her hip hop name is Tress, but don't forget the THA, not THE, the Real Tress, to find her on the Tagged app. Okay, find her on the Tagged app, guys, and then go in there, freestyle, do your thing, rap, sing, dance, all the other type of good stuff. Tell the doc sent you, okay? So go in there, go on the Tag app, do that this evening. That's at midnight on today, which is Thursday night for Freestyle Friday, because it goes into Friday, of course. All right, and also tomorrow, Friday, I have my show, Dads Deserve Justice, for alienated fathers, alienated mothers. Guys, we out there helping, trying to raise money, not trying, we're doing, raise money, do different things to help fathers because they don't get the fair shake in the legal system or even putting down their foot trying to be a part of their children's life. Too much parent alienation going on. You know, I was watching something the other day, and maybe that's what my topic will be tomorrow. The fact that the statistics show that we're the African American race, you know, it's just, we just don't think things through a lot of times, guys, where they have so many issues with alienating their kids and it destroys our race. So moms get better, dads get better, do what we gotta do. Now, we not the only ones, but it's just that sometimes you gotta look at the facts and look at statistics, guys, and we gotta get our families together. Now, with that being said, let's jump into our topic. As we've done our housekeeping, we've done a little promotions of different stuff like that. And we also got some new shows coming up. So we got a show on using insurance for wealth. We got a show coming up for business owners. Absolutely, matter of fact, got an event today to go out with the business owners. And so with that being said, guys, let me jump into let's just build it. Let's build it, y'all. Let me see what I got over here. Yep. Okay. All right. So let me say, guys, Nike said, just do it, right? This is the same type of concept. Let's build it, right? Now, there's lots of different things that you can build, right? You can build a relationship, right? You can build a partnership. You can build um, things with your children. You can build things with friends. And it's still part of relationship or family or friends, right? You can build a business, right? You can build, if those of you who are familiar with that network marketing MLM, direct sales, right? If you're an artist, you're a business owner in itself, which means you need to build your career. You need to build your brand, right? You're talking about building all types of different things. So let me take a few little segments and deal with a few segments today, Kevin. What's up, Scott Wesley? What's going on? You know, let me deal with a few segments of things. The first thing, you know, which is heavy on my heart, heavy on my mind, is relationship, right? Because sometimes you have ups and downs. You have all types of different things going on. Right now, I'm going through a down period. I'll be transparent with you. You know, it's been a little bit rough, a lot rough, guys. But you know what? You got to work at it. Somebody says, I need some space. You got to build it. How do you build it? It's hard to think that you would build something by backing off, backing away. But guess what? That's what space is called, right? Now, sometimes the space can backfire, you know, if it's not the right person that you're giving space to, or if you don't give the proper type of space, or the amount of space. But there's no rule to that. That's the thing, guys. That's why it takes two in a relationship. You have to communicate to some degree. You know, even if you have space, you have to have some type of connection degree especially if there was a love, if there was a admiration, if there was true friendship, there was true stuff going on. Because people make mistakes. Our last show, we talked about that. You know, mistakes. If you haven't seen it, go to the YouTube, Winners All Around, and watch the show. What is a mistake, right? And so you want to build it, then there's different things you have to learn in a relationship in order to build something. And one thing you must learn in anything that you're building, here's the thing, guys. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fail. You're gonna go backwards. You're going to do that in every different scenario in life. What separates the winners in a relationship and what separates the winners in anything else from the losers? The fact that they can keep moving. The fact that, as Les Brown said, if you can see up, you can get up, right? It's the fact that you are committed to the commitment, that you go through stuff, but you remember there's always something on the other side of the rainbow. So focus and never, ever give up, right? So it takes a lot to build it in a relationship. I'm not a counselor. I have a degree in philosophy, and I studied a lot of it, especially when I was going through my divorce and I was getting my doctorate. But I'm not here to teach you and act like I'm a specialist and a relationship coach and all that type of stuff. But I do know that the principles of success, what's up, Nicole? Been a long time. I do know that the principles, Lucas, of winning. I do know the principles of winning in life. I know the principles of winning in money. I know the principles of winning in relationships. All the principles, right? All the principles are the same, guys. Read the Bible. There's the same principles. There's things you have to learn, things you have to get better at. There's things you sometimes gonna fail, and you got to pick yourself back up. Learn the principles of winning, okay? And those principles will often happen over. You have to apply them over and over and over again. You know, you will fail more than you win, right? So that is why if you ever run into someone who's had a major issue or problem in life, which we all have had, then if once you learn the principles, they seem to be able to pick themselves back up and do it again and again and again. That is correct, guys, because you learn the principles. Okay. Now, let's talk about build it in the music industry, right? Because I come from the music industry. I started off as a drummer. And I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. I then went on to Howard University and Lincoln University, and ended up at God's U University for my doctorate. Now, but that was in philosophy, not in music. And I got into music education. Why? Because my father wanted me to succeed, and he didn't feel like music was a true business, right? It was going to pay my bills. I wish my dad was alive right now because he could see what I've been able to achieve in life, even though I went to get a degree in music education, but I didn't want to be a music educator. I did want to use what I learned of playing different instruments to produce and write and things of that nature, which I've gone on to do and had some success at that. Not to mention, guys, we have a couple more things coming out this summer. We have um, oh, what I coming? Oh man, I just met and a brain fart. Queen is coming out, guys, with to with Silver Spoon, right? Silver Spoon and Flying Daggers with Ski Johnson and Chili Ed, and hopefully working if we can pick some things back up that we had in place for Tress with Racks on Racks, guys. Those things coming this summer. So look for it because we're working to build it and make some big things pop off with that. So you're a musician, you're an artist, you're an actor, right? Well, one of the things that amazes me is the lack of, here it is, the lack of marketing, advertising, and promotions that business owners, because artists are business owners also, so this is sort of a combination, that business owners realize that they need. So let me put something in perspective that you may consider. Back in the day, because the music industry has crashed, it's not the same anymore. But we're going to use the concept so you understand. Because that principle, right, didn't change. Back in the day, Colin, right, people's aspirations in the music business as an artist was to get signed to a record deal, a record contract. Now, today, you can produce a lot of stuff in your house, on your phone. You know, I was so proud of my girl because she put out tons and tons of records with collaborations in a very short period of time without understanding the music industry. But that's why I came in and said, well, let's build it to another level because I understood the other part. See, you can't do it by yourself. You need a team. Sometimes, though, it'll take a while to get the right team. Sometimes it'll take a while to get the right team in a relationship. Sometimes it'll take a while to get the right team in a business, right? But you got to have a team. You can't do it by yourself, but you have to be able to go by yourself, right? At times. As a matter of fact, like I talked about an earlier relationship, you might need some space. Yes, but you still got to go and focus on the bigger picture of bringing everything back together. That's part of your team. But at times, you're going to have to go it alone. And as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as somebody in a relationship, there are going to be times that you're going to have to go at it alone. But don't stay there because no one ever wins by themselves. It takes a team, right? So here's the thing, guys. And I think it was Jim Collins with the book. What's the name of his book? It's all about the team. Like it's not the opportunity, the business is not the relationship. It is the team that makes the difference. If you look at companies that go from 100,000 to 1 million to $1 billion, it was their team. So here's the thing, guys. You're going to go at it. You're going to build a team, but sometimes you're going to have to go it alone. And so artists didn't want to go it alone. They needed a team, but they really a lot of times never thought about the record label as a team. Well, it is. Because think about this. Your goal was to get signed to a record label, right? You got signed, maybe you got a little bit of money up front. They do what they do. But when you did that, you had hundreds, if not thousands, of people, individuals, punching a clock, going to work every single day. Think about this. Behind the scenes to make you a superstar, right? There was marketing people, there was AR people, there's promotions people, there's advertising people, there's press release people, there's human resource people, there's administrative people, there's street team people, there's CEOs, there's vice presidents. All of these people are back there with a focus, a common focus in mind, which is to make you bigger than life, which is get you in radio, get you in television, get you interviews. That's the goal. That's what they do, to make you bigger in life to the public, and so much so that the public begins to accept you. And then they begin to accept your music. And then they begin to buy your music. And then they begin to come to your shows. And that creates this treadmill effect, right, of exponential growth. But it doesn't start because you're an artist. It doesn't start just because you have talent. That, unfortunately, and artists don't like to hear this, but I'm an artist. That's the smallest amount of what it takes for you to win. If you don't put yourself out there, marketing, promotions, and advertising, which is the focus of all companies, you're not going to win. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people make the mistake of thinking that they won. They made $1 million. I won. I arrived. Okay, you did. But there's a possibility you could have made $1 billion, right? Get the right team, have the right drive, but most importantly, you have to get out there prior to your release, during your release, after your release, right? Because you're driving towards the next album, you're driving towards the next tour, right? You're always driving what you're doing at the moment in the current, you're driving towards the next one. But you also must let people know that you're coming, right? You're gonna have to do this to build a successful career in the music entertainment industry. Because you, in essence, are a company, a business as well, right? So we've talked about building in relationships. We've talked about building as an artist and musician in the entertainment industry. Let's talk about, and somewhat a little bit about business. I'm gonna talk a little bit about business. Then I'm gonna talk about another type of business. So, business owners, right? If you're a small business owner, now I understand. I had a big battle with Bank of America because one time I had gone to them, I was talking to them, and they said, "Let us introduce you to our small business account." And I did it with Wells Fargo. I did it with Capital One. I did it with Signet Bank. I did it with First Union. Like I had conversations with all types of different banks about an account at different times in my career. And one day, it just got to me. It struck me when they said, okay, let us look at our small business accounts. Now, Bank of America is a huge business, a huge bank. One of the number one banks. I think other ones are competing with it now, but as far as locations around the world and things of that nature, I think Wells Fargo and whoever they just purchased or something is the biggest. But anyway, I wanted to challenge them, right? And I asked them one day when I was looking at accounts and talking to different banks, I said, why do you call it what makes a small business account? Now, it took them weeks to answer that question. But think about that, right? If you open up a clothing store, right, in a little strip mall in your neighborhood, and someone walked in and said, "Oh, how's your little store doing?" How would you feel? Not so good, right? If you have a relationship with somebody, especially if somebody of the opposite sex said it to you, right, or the same sex these days, and they said to you, "How's your little relationship going?" You wouldn't feel too good, right? So think about that. Banks tell you you want to open a small business. How's your little small business going? That's not really cool. That's sort of foul. You're already teaching me that I'm going to be small and little and not, well, they should say, oh, are you interested in opening a big business accounts or to be big business, something, right? But they call you small. Now, Bank of America couldn't figure it out for weeks. And then one day they got back with me and said, well, we consider small under $10 million. Really? That's because you're catering to who? You're catering to the super successful people. That's who you really care about, right? You got $100, $1,000 in the bank, 2,000. They don't really care nothing about you. They can't make so much off of you. But if you put 100 million in their bank, they're making a ton of money off you, right? So they're like over $10 million. I thought that was trifling, but that's how they came up with it, right? And so, guys, you are a business owner, right? And I won't say a small business owner, you're a business owner, right? You need to have marketing, advertising, promotions to build your business, to build your company, to get out there and for people to see you and hear you and want to decide to buy your product. Now, here's the thing that's never changed. In social media, it sort of clouds people's minds. You have to, if you want someone to buy your t-shirt in your store or your computer or some shoes or your health products or whatever kind of store you have, whatever kind of business you have, you can't ask one person, right? If you want to sell 5 products today or 5 services, you can't ask 5 people. When you own a store on the street and somebody walks into your store, majority of people that walk into your location, they don't buy anything. They don't. So it's the same thing if you're promoting marketing and advertising. You can't ask 5 people and expect to get 5 sales. No, you need to ask 50 people to get 5 sales. You need to ask 100 people to get 10 sales. You need to ask 1,000 people to get 100 sales. Come on, y'all. That's why it's important to be in front of tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people in order for you to succeed. So that how do you do that? You got to build it. You got to brand it. You have to figure out ways that you can get in front of lots and lots of people. That's why Winners All Around was launched. That's why right now You're seeing me on Threads. You're seeing me on multiple Facebooks. You're seeing me on multiple YouTubes. You're seeing me on multiple TikToks. You're seeing me on multiple IGs, right? Multiple Facebooks. Why? Because you can't go in front of one. You can't go in front of two. You have to go in front of hundreds and thousands of people. And on social media, you have to understand right now, right? If I go to one of the platforms and I look, I say, okay, 1 view, 2 views, 5 views, 10 views, 15 views. That's not enough. I will challenge you. Go to your social media page and do a live about whatever product or service you're selling as a business owner. And then look how many likes you have or how many views that you have. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. First of all, what you see in the numbers isn't true. It's not true, right? Because they were created to make money for themselves. They weren't created to make money for you. The goal of them is for you to advertise. So they want you to see a smaller number so that you can say, how do I get this number bigger? And guess how you make it bigger? They're in business. You pay them something, right? To make the number bigger. It's a facade. So if you have 10 likes, you might have had 20, 30, 50 likes. If you have 5 views, you might have had 50, 100, 200 views, right? Because they're doing what? They're marketing, advertising, and promoting. They're driving you to want to do something different to get more, right? And they're pushing you. Well, that's business. That's how you build it. So they're trying to build you because you're building those platforms and they want you to make them money so they can make more money, right? So you got to keep that in mind. But my point also is, even if you look at the numbers, and even the ones you don't look at, you need to get more. So if you were on 2 platforms, you probably have more. If you were on 3, you probably have more. If you're on 10, 15, simultaneously, you probably have more, right? And that's what we do at Winners All Around. It simultaneously give you exposure on more as a business owner or trying to sell a product or service, whatever you're doing. But that's business, guys. And that's why we created Winners All Around to help you get more. Now, the numbers you see won't really be the numbers that reflect. But our goal is for you to succeed and make cash in your passion. Whatever it is you want to sell, whatever it is you're trying to promote, whatever you're trying to market, we're not here to tell you to do that and do this, and this is the best thing, and only this, and do this. No. Because every idea most people didn't believe in until it blew up, right? So our goal is not to determine what's the best thing. Our goal is to help you get the exposure and to get in front of people. Now, yes, we have opportunities that you can do more, pay more, see more with us, right? But what gets you started? Let's help get you in front of more people than just your platform. Because if you go live with us, you're not going to be on just your page, your platform. You're going to be simultaneously on a bunch of platforms, including yours. On top of that, you're going to be on our YouTube channel that someone can always go back and look at it later to see what was going on. So now you're sending them somewhere that's helping you. It's helping us. We all, what? Remember the team? We all winning together, right? So business owners, you've got to get in front of people. Now, last thing I want to talk about is MLM network marketing. But before I do that, let me give you some insight on this, right? Guys, I was around when the internet was introduced to the general public. As a matter of fact, one of my friends, he had the second website ever on the internet. Now, I went to all the major radio stations, television stations, people like Bob Johnson, Kathy Hughes. I went to all these people, right? And I said, look, we can do this thing and get you on the internet. And everybody told me they were never going to need the internet. Well, we're on the internet right now. But that's what I was told, y'all. But I didn't stop. I knew what I wanted to build in my life. So I kept going anyway. And look at us now. Matter of fact, I used to own a magazine called Straight from the Street. If you go to our YouTube, under Winners All Around, you're going to see a show Straight from the Street. We're bringing it back. Not in the same form that it was decades ago. Now, some people call me, they're excited. And I'm excited too. Had a lot of success there. But I transitioned out of that company because I had this idea of using this little thing called the internet and getting more exposure, more branding, more marketing, and more advertising so I could build my legacy, so I could build my magazine, build my company. And also, because my job was to build artists, performers, business owners, actors. That's what we did, right? Giving you promotions, advertising, and marketing. Our goal was to do that. So we had to do what? Get in front of more people. The more publications I printed, the more we put it out there, the more we out there in the field making things happen, the more advertisers I got, the more publications I could print. So everybody was winning, me and my advertisers, because you have to think about the people that you're promoting and your branding and stuff like that. Even with Winners All Around, we have a membership, but you're not buying the membership. No, you're not. There's one that doesn't cost you. There's one that's $10. There's one that's $50. You're not buying it. That's just giving you access. We don't make money from that. We spend money. You're a $50 member, and we do an interview for you every month that costs us money, time, energy. If you wanted to buy it, it'd be $450. But you get it free. Not free, I don't understand social media get funky. You get it with no cost as the member. It's one of the benefits of it, right? But if you want to get it, it's like when I had a magazine. I didn't charge people to do interviews. No, I was the type of publication that we charged for advertising. And then in turn, we interviewed people. Now, there were magazines like Source or Vibe, right? Those magazines, you paid them to be in it, right? You bought ads, you bought deals, and things of that nature. So that's sort of like what we do, right? You're a member of ours, we give you that. If you're not a member, you can always buy it. And we work hard behind the scenes for you to make money in your passions. Guys, we just closed the deal with CBS Time Warner. We've got deals with Fox. We've got deals with lots of different people. We got deals with multiple apps on platforms that we work with. One is in beta test right now. Guys, we got deals with Roku. We got deals with lots of different people behind the scenes that when you work with us, we get you out there. And we have a la carte services and upgrade services. If someone has the money, right, they can say, I want this right now. If you don't, let us help you make some income in your passion so that you can afford to do the things you need to do to market, advertise, and promote so you can build whatever it is that you're trying to build. Okay? Look, guys, that's a little Winners All Around pitch, but also talking about businesses. What businesses did on the internet, is what I was getting to, was that let's take something like Ford Motor Company, for example. Ford Motor Company originally said, we don't need the internet. The same way they slipped and didn't think they needed social media, right? I remember when social media was presented to me, and I ignored it for a long time. And then finally, somebody came along in my life and mentored me and helped me. And Renee Toppin and Shauna Richardson helped me figure out about social media and Facebook and all this other good stuff, right? And then all of a sudden they were talking about if you're not on Facebook, then you're not in business. And then you had TikTok that came along. And then you had Instagram, and then WhatsApp, and Threads, and YouTube, and IG, and all these things coming along to give you more platforms, right? But this is what Ford Motor Company said at first. The same thing friends told me when I brought them the internet. They said, we don't need it. One day they changed their mind. Now, in the very beginning, you had a lot of opportunity online because the internet was new and people blew up and made a ton of money. Small percentage of people. Most people didn't get it yet. And one day, Ford Motor Company or bigger companies that understand marketing, promotions, advertising, and branding, they understand how to build it, right? Because they build it into the millions and billions of dollars. They realized they needed the internet. The same way they realized at one point in time, they needed social media. And so what did? They took their billion-dollar advertising budgets and they took a big chunk of it and they put it on the internet and they put it on social media. And that helped them get more exposure or branding or advertising so they can build their brand bigger. But what did it do for the small guy? It put millions of other people out there. Now you got to compete with the Ford Motor Company. So the opportunity you had originally isn't the same. That's why a lot of people, there's a new app comes along, which are happening all the time, people jump on it. Can I be the first there? ViewBoo, that's one of our apps, it's in beta test, right? It's about to explode. A couple years ago, we worked with app Tapestry, right? 40,000 people got that joint in the first 6 months, right? Guys, numbers. If you want to build something, you got to build the numbers. But now we're competing with all the major corporations and all of their money. This is how it goes. So you got to get creative. And that's what we've done with Winners All Around. We got creative, and we get creative behind the scenes so we can help you to win on things you may not be able to, don't understand yet, can't afford yet. What's up, Colin? What's up, Tolson? All right, I'm just checking on my TikTok, folks. What's up, Juan, Tulsi? What's going on, Sam? Right? If you don't understand it, you can't afford it, you're not sure about it, go to winnersallaround.com. Check it out, guys. Also, go to the YouTube Winners All Around, right? And don't forget our show this evening, Freestyle Friday with Tress on the Tagged app. I almost forgot. I meant the Tag. That's another one we're going. All right? Tag. So you can go there. And I didn't know this, guys. In the dating sites, they have these streaming platforms, right? And it's huge business, more exposure. So people say, oh, I didn't go on because I thought it was a dating site. See, you got to open your mind. You know, a lady texted me today, and she said she's working on her health and her business. So thanks for the invite to jump on a Zoom, but I'm going to pass. And I laughed to myself. See, this is what I try to help and coach and mentor people. You don't know what you don't know. What she didn't know about the Zoom I sent her, right, and the information I sent her recently was, number one, about her health, right? She wanted to maintain her health. Now, we didn't ask you to jump off a cliff. I said, just get on a free Zoom. Check out the Zoom. That's it. The Zoom doesn't cost you to get on the Zoom. Go on the Zoom and see it. If she would have saw that, it would have helped her maintain her health. But she made a decision without facts, without information. Why are you so busy you can't get on a Zoom? But that's why the majority of people miss their blessings, right? They don't understand what it takes to build something. Open-minded, make decisions, keep moving, find a team, advertise, market, promote, brand, constantly, consistently, right? With commitment. Doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling in which you said it has left you. Same thing with relationships. Same thing with business. You got to be consistent. You got to be committed to the commitment, right? If you're committed to the circumstance, if you're committed to one situation, you're missing the whole point of everything. And you'll never be able to build anything to the moon or to where you could go, to your potential. And so the other thing I sent her was this to help her with her business, right? Winners All Around, to help her with her business. Because you get an interview with us. You get marketing, branding, we create it behind the scenes. That's what we do. But she don't know none of that. Because it was easier for her to blow it off. It was easier for her to say, you know what? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Who cares? That's what you're doing. That was the whole point. We really do care, and we're trying to help you. And I know she wants to win. I know she wants to succeed. She's been in the game for a long time. I've known her for decades, so. But someday you have to wake up and realize that whatever you're doing to build your thing, you ain't doing it right. You're not, something is missing. If you're still in the same boat. Now, I'm not talking about people that go up and down and fail because relationships fail and businesses fail and people fail. And you remember what I said earlier? you're going to fail more than you win. But if you've been in 10 years or 20 years of failure without any success to talk about, at some point in time, you're going to need some help. You're going to have to open your mind. You're going to need some coaching. That's why coaching business is real big these days, right? I've been coaching people for years. Wake up, right? Last thing I want to talk about is network marketing, MLMers. I've always said there are a lot of them are networkers, they're not business owners because they also don't listen that well, right? Now, sometimes people don't listen because life is built on relationships. So you have a relationship with this guy, which is different than this guy. You like both of them. One of them calls you to get on a Zoom, you jump on. The other one calls you to get on a Zoom, like her, you don't jump on, right? Some of that's relationships. Now, you can call it that, but you can fix you. You can work on you. That's how I am. When someone calls me, when someone texts me, somebody gives me information, a friend of mine sent me some other stuff after. I asked her for 3 days. She was getting smart with me about the information. I'm like, you don't want to contact me to look at something. And I tried to look at it, and then I tried to ask you for it over and over, and you want to be smart about it rather than just give me the information so I can see it, right? She finally got it together. But that tells you people need help. People need coaching. People need to learn the things necessary. When someone calls me, I'm on it. Send me a text, something to look at, I look at it. I ain't that busy, right? Just to give a couple minutes to see what you got going on because it might bless me. It might help me. It might be great. You never find me in a situation where I won't check out something. I won't see what it is. That's not me. And I've always taught my team that. It's because you need to know what's going on out there. McDonald's doesn't say, I don't want to know anything about Burger King down the street. No, they hire people to study Burger King down the street. They keep their eye on Burger King down the street. They pay attention to what Burger King is doing. That's what big businesses do who really build it. And so that's something we need to learn, or people need to learn in life. Pay attention, open-minded, right? A billionaire taught me that a long time ago. So guys, networkers often don't listen, right? They want you to follow them, but they don't want to follow you. They want you to check out their stuff, but they don't want to check out yours. But the people who have success, like myself have been blessed to have, we understand that, and we go through what? The numbers. We go through hundreds and thousands of people, right? And that's what, sometimes things force you into things. My relationship, things around me, different other issues, things that was going on, sometimes it pushes you to do other stuff. So this week I had to turn up the heat. Turn it up, guys. Work hard to build something. Get something together, right? And sometimes things will push you to do things that you don't want. You can't see the blessing and the benefit in at the moment. And so thank you, bro, for giving me a push, right? And hopefully we will work it out and figure it out and achieve the successes that we can and the destined for God to give us. Guys, network marketers, I suggest you listen and pay attention because the world is changing and how people communicate. And you need to get in front of thousands of people for you to find your 1 and 2 and 3 superstars. Can't call 3 and get 3. And you can't even call most of your friends and family anymore. They don't pick up the phone. They tell you to text them. And it's really difficult to go really big trying to communicate through text. I tell people every day, I don't do business and I don't build relationships through messenger and text. Because everybody I know that makes millions, they talk. They communicate with human beings. One day, won't have to. But today, we still do. Now, if you text 100 million people, you might get somewhere. But most people don't have time to text 100 million people. And if you got T-Mobile, they'll probably shut you down. Don't mess with them, they're a mess. So I'm just saying, guys, you have to brand, market, advertise if you want to build something big. And so I'm excited. Back on the rodeo, back in the rodeo again. Have some team popping this week. And we got a lot more to do. So guys, just remember, if you want to be healthy, you want to lose some weight, there's a company out there called Ozempic. It's all over the place. Suppose you had something that could compete with that. Suppose you had something that was natural, with no side effects. You could lose it like this. You get your mind together like mine gets back together. And get you off prescriptions. Help you with sleep apnea. help you with weight loss, get rid of toxic visceral fat, even if you're not on a treadmill. Because I was slipping, wasn't on it like I needed to be. Right, guys, we got you. We got you covered. Want to reactivate these stem cells? Because you ain't got many. If you're over 50, you only got 5% of them. If you're over 30, you only get 50% of them. You didn't know that, did you? I didn't know that either. You know why I know it? Because I paid attention. Because I was open to information. I didn't have to buy. I didn't have to join a business. I had to get information. And that's what I did. And I might not even be here right now had I not taken that information prior to my accident. Guys, become proactive instead of always being reactive. And that goes down to if you really want to build something. It has to do with listening. Look, guys, we got you covered on a lot of different fronts. We got a show getting ready to start on it, using insurance. So if you're an insurance salesperson or something like that, looking for a home or something like that, we got some folks who work with clients on there. If you're somebody who is a business owner, hopefully you've paid attention to what I talked about today, and you've already gone to winnersallaround.com and registered. You've already contacted us, right? Because that's what we're here for you. And I got to get off this so I can do an appointment and get to a place with a lot of business owners. Because you can't just do it through social media. You can't just do it through text and message. You can't just do it through email. You got to get out there in the field too if you want to build. So with that being said, guys, again, my name is Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander. Thank you for joining another treadmill wealth coach session. You can go to PromelWealth.com. We do coaching and things of that nature as well. And we'll see you on the beaches of the world. Remember, guys, it's your decisions that determine your lifestyle. Don't forget the show tonight with Tagged, with The Real Tress on Tagged at midnight. And tomorrow, Dads Deserve Justice. And hopefully, God willing, I'll be back again for another episode of Treadmill Wealth Coach tomorrow. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.